What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. It is the 23rd day of December, and here we are sitting at about $0.0028 with 8 hours and 20 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, consolidating still in this range that we've been in for like a month and a half now. Ready to move up at any moment. Absolutely we are. Very confident that this is some type of double bottom. It's a higher low nonetheless. I'm very confident we don't go below these lows. However, what we're doing right now, there is the potential that we could spill out a little bit and maybe form another higher low, or potentially, we just consolidate some more and then we break out to the upside. I want to look at the short-term stuff and see if we can get a read on what direction we're shifting towards right now. Because even though we're moving down, there's still a very solid chance that we could be breaking out to the upside from here. So looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, looking at this here, you do have a little bit of an M pattern here. It's kind of a small M, but it's cute nonetheless, right? You could move a little bit lower with that. Typically, it's actually very common for M's to end just below where they began, much like a W, but to the reverse effect, and then maybe we can move up from there. Looking at this with our indicators, the RSI is bearish overall. Is it bearish overall? It's so weird because you are living predominantly below the 50, very small amounts of time above the 50, but you're not getting oversold. You are getting overbought. It's kind of odd. It's like the indicator wants you to be bearish, but the price action won't let it happen. I don't know. Stochastics have reset. They have reset, and the MACD is also reset as well. I would say you're more at a point to bounce than you are to go lower, personally. 4 hour time frame here, lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price, technically. Same thing in the stochastics, same thing in the MACD. That's hidden bullish divergence on every account there. Yeah, but if we close a little bit lower, it'll go away. I don't know. Maybe it's as simple as an ABC correction. ABC. Something like that. If it is that simple, let's just see. Put that there. What about our fibs? Low. That was not the low. To the high. Wow. So ABC correction would take us right to our golden ratio zone, which is also right at our prior areas of resistance. I don't know. That kind of makes sense to me. And maybe we do bounce. Maybe the 1 hour is not lying and we do bounce from here. But the bounce could be like this. Reset the indicators, the oscillators, and then we move lower. Maybe the indicators look like they want to bounce because that's what it looked like here. That's what it looked like here. And we've got, the MACD's at the 0. This is typically an area that you do bounce from as well. Maybe instead we're about to cross. Maybe this stays bearish for longer and you're about to get oversold here. I don't know. Just because it did this before doesn't mean that we have to hold support here now. That's all I'm trying to say. It wouldn't be wild at all to go down to about 0.0263 to 0.0257. Prior resistance there. It makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Plus, you've gone below the 382. You found resistance at the 236. I mean, statistically speaking, the golden ratio is inevitable at this point. So yeah, 0.0. What is that? 263 to 0.0256, somewhere in that range. That's where you're going to go. Looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, I would assume that it's between now and the next few days. So it's Tuesday now, so by the end of this week, before the end of Friday, we should be down there. The sooner the better, right? Get done with your dropping earlier, and we can resume moving higher sooner as well. You'll probably find support there, and then continue to rally, likely seeing a higher high from here because you're providing a higher low yet again, another higher low. So that next attempt up should break us out and take us to higher prices. We look at the daily time frame, assuming that we pull back just a little bit. The daily RSI might bounce off the 50 or just below the 50. Maybe we go down to the 40. Stochastics getting a little bit tied up here. It's kind of odd. You don't typically get tied up here, but whatever. Tie up a little bit and then maybe continue to move higher. That's happened, maybe a couple of times. If we look at this on the MACD, it's kind of odd because here you're building bearish momentum and then here you're building bullish momentum. It's kind of odd. Not really a lot to go off of on the MACD there. Overall, you are in very bearish environments right now with your indicators, but there is a light at the end of this tunnel, right? Likely what's going to happen is you're going to move down, you're going to find support at this prior resistance point. You'll have a low, a higher low, and another higher low here, right? From there, the next attempt up to this area, being that you found resistance here a few times, would likely break you through, okay? So after you find support and your indicators reset a little bit, they reset a little bit, they reset a little bit, whatever, this next move should break you above the zero on the MACD, should get you overbought on the stochastics and overbought in the RSI. And with all that together happening all at once, I see no reason why your next move shouldn't take you up to your golden ratio zone. And this is something we've gone back and forth on. We've been deciding this for a while now, right? We've known really from this area, likely this is the next target area you're going to go to. But it just makes so much sense from here that that we'd see a higher low and then break our way up to that area. So a little bit lower, 00263 to 00256, and then from there we should be on our way to 004 or higher. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you all for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Absolutely, we are still considering 3 to 4.5 cents as our ultimate target area for this next move up, right? There's a lot of short-term stuff going on, but in reference to this consolidation range here, when we break out and whenever we do move higher, inevitably we're anticipating that we go up to about 3 to 4.5 cents, and that should happen, if not by the end of Q1, sometime in Q2. I have a feeling we are going to be well underway with this move in Q1. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if it was March or February and we were up in this 3 to 4.5 cent area. But maybe most of this move happens in Q1, and then the beginning of Q2 is that little finale push there, and then we consolidate. I don't know. I do expect, I personally anticipate, and I was going to end the video, but I just want to go over real quick the roadmap with ZBCN again, okay? I personally am expecting that we are in a impulsive wave count where you have 5 waves to the upside. Really, it's 3 waves to the upside, 2 waves to consolidate. Typically in these impulsive counts, the third leg is the biggest leg. Sometimes the fifth leg is the biggest leg. It's less common for the first leg to be the biggest leg, but that happens as well. If we're taking this model, the idea should be that we see something that is bigger, we see something a little bit larger than what we saw in the last move. We take a high to a low. If we're going to see something larger, the next target area, that 3 cent area, really looks appropriate. Let's just imagine that's exactly what we do, okay? And I'm going to delete this. We're just going to try to paint the picture here. Let's imagine that's more or less exactly what we do. You know, this would be by March. I see no reason why we couldn't, from here, by March, be up here, especially with how we've moved before. I see no reason why we couldn't be up here. If we were to consolidate back, right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, however long that'll last until. Maybe it'll last until, you know, I don't know, May or June. Maybe it lasts until the end of April. However long this consolidation phase lasts. I wouldn't be surprised. A little known fact too, wave 4 is typically the smallest wave. Not always, but typically it's the smallest wave. So if this is wave 1 and this is wave 2, wave 4 should be a smaller phase of consolidation than this, right? You've been consolidating here since May. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months. This next consolidation phase, however long it is, we know it'll be less than 7 months. Okay, maybe 3 months, maybe 2 months. And then from there, we will likely push higher with our 5th leg, again, being probably bigger than our 1st leg, and potentially even bigger than our 3rd leg. So from here, and I'm doing a lot of assuming. We don't know where we're going to top off. We don't know where we're going to find support. But let's imagine here, if we top off in this area and consolidate, maybe we pull back. Let's say we pull back to our golden ratio to find support. Let's say that's what happens. Pull all the way back down to 1.4 cents. After we top off at 3 to 4.5 cents, we pull back to 1.4 cents. That might make sense. And then from there, 5th leg, if it's going to be bigger than wave 1, should take us then to 17 to 25 cents. Those would be the next 2 appropriate fib targets. And if it's bigger than wave 3, well, there's a very solid chance that we push for this 44 cent area or higher. But something like that by the end of the cycle. And I mean, just that could take us into Q3, late Q3, if not Q4 of 2026. From the current price, you know, we would anticipate anything from roughly a 47x from here to potentially a 154x. It's a big range, but basically like that 44 cent to 14 cent area is our end of cycle Q3, Q4 prediction for Zbec. And it's a big range, but hey, on the minimum note, you're still outperforming what my expectations are for the average altcoin by the end of this cycle. So you're outperforming by a lot. The average altcoin is projected to do a 30x from here. You've got 50x potential. Winning, hashtag winning, let alone if you hit the maximum potential, which honestly I think you could even see. I think we've done analysis. We've even can come up with the targets of like 50 cents if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's possible. Zebec could see what's Zebec's market cap. I'm pretty sure it could see a 200x. I'm not counting on it. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet against it. But ZBCN, let's see. With this kind of market cap, yeah, you could absolutely see a 200x. I mean, we might not be bullish enough. In that fifth leg, sometimes there's it's an extended count. Sometimes you get like a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then your fifth leg has its own kind of count. It goes like wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that fifth leg can be bigger. It's like it's a impulsive count with extension at the end. Sometimes that's how it is. I don't know how much sense that makes, but I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Just a little thought into the future, the further future, right? We've been considering what's next here for so long that I figured it'd be nice to really go over why we expect this area. But then also we've kind of stopped at just that for so long that I wanted to expand upon that a little bit, because we talk about the five-legged move, we talk about this over here, and we talk about the third leg being bigger than the first leg typically. But what about the fifth leg? What if we continue to let this play out? Where might we come back to find support? Where then could we expect to go? I think a 50, basically a 50 to 150x is appropriate for this thing by the end of this 2026. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you. Bye-bye.